Hey guys, how you doing? This is Steve back with another Small Business Spotlight, and today we are actually doing a very unique business. I mean, normally we focus on brick and mortar businesses, but I am sitting here with the bread baker of Riverdale, Arnie Adler, today. So how you doing today, Arnie?
I'm doing great. Spring is coming. It's a good time.
Beautiful. So Arnie, tell me some of the challenges that you faced.
Well, one of them was last summer when it got really hot. The whole process of making bread is impacted by heat and humidity. And I thought I knew what I was doing. And then suddenly the bread, it was back to stage one again. I had to learn how to adapt to the new temperatures and cool off the dough as it was fermenting so that it would rise the way it's supposed to.
So you had to kind of relearn how to make bread?
Yes. This is part of what I love about it, though, is that there are all these, I used to cook, and cooking to me was like jazz. You get to improvise, you can be loosey-goosey. Bread, you've got time, you've got temperature, you've got, I use a professional scale. You measure things to the gram. I don't do cups, I do weights. And now I've gotten into it. I mean, I even have a t-shirt that's like a takeoff of Breaking Bad. It says Breaking Bread. Because, I'm like a little Walter White here.
That's awesome.
Creating, legal bread crack.
That is awesome. All right. So I want to just switch gears a little bit. So after the friendly fridge, then you brought back this prehistoric idea of swaps and bartering. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I belong to the kayak. There's a kayak club up in Yonkers. I always think it's hysterical that Riverdale has river in its name, and we have virtually no river access. But up in Yonkers, right near the train station, there is a historic boathouse where you can go kayaking. And I became a member of the club, and wonderful people. Some of them live in Riverdale, some of them live in Yonkers and Westchester, and some of them are into their own interesting things. Some of them actually have beehives on their property and sell their honey. And so I approached one of them and we have a barbecue on Tuesday nights.
Okay.
And I started bringing the bread to the barbecues on Tuesday night, and people were really loving it. And so I said, would you like to trade a bread for some of your honey? And they go, yeah. And then someone had kombucha, and so it started to work that way.
Tell me about the response that you just meant, that it was amazing. So I came across you because people were raving about your bread on the Riverdale page. So tell me, how has that impacted your business?
It was just so much fun. I mean, people were bringing me scarves. They were bringing me babkas and mac and cheese, smoked ribs.
Smoked ribs.
Yeah. I've gotten all kinds of soups. I've gotten Irish soda bread. So it's just been fun. And everyone I meet, it's about a smile. And now it's gone beyond me, which is really what I was hoping for. I have two people. One makes granola, one makes yogurt.
Okay.
They're now swapping between each other, which is like, I can leave Riverdale now and my work is done.
There you go.
Because it's not about me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell me, so fan favorite, right? What's the go-to? What's the fan favorite? What's the trend?
It seems right now it's the cranberry walnut. For a long time it was a plain but with everything bagel topping on it.
Okay.
That's still popular, but the cranberry walnut is what people are really asking for.
Gotcha. And so, do you have a menu? How is it?
Yeah, I've got, when anyone inquires, it's mainly through Facebook, saying, I heard about your bread, how do I get a bread? So I've got a little info sheet that I send them directly.
Nice.
And it lists all the breads. I've got the plain with everything, cranberry walnut, raisin fennel, multi-seed, which has pumpkin seeds and flax and sunflower seeds inside it, a turmeric bread. It's like licorice. Not a lot of people like turmeric, but the people who like turmeric really like turmeric. So I've got some real fans for the turmeric bread. And now I'm also doing some rolls. also. So, and then I only bake 3 days a week. So, because I'm still doing photography, that's really how I support myself. And but if I have a down day, I'll experiment. And, so I made this croissant bread that people, when they saw the pictures, when can I get some? And I'm not ready to offer that one yet for a couple of reasons. And then this weekend I made some rosemary olive bread for myself, and that came out pretty good. So maybe that I'll offer. I learned a lot I have a high school buddy out in California who has a very prestigious bakery. And I actually went out there for a week and apprenticed there. And he was just sent a little note to me like, you may want to try taking something off the menu, making things a little more seasonal, add something, take something. So,
create that demand.
Yeah. So,
Can't wait for the walnuts, can't wait for that season.
Yeah, that was the thing. That was when he said cranberry walnut. He goes, cranberries people think of the fall. Maybe you want to put something else in there. So, we'll see what happens. But, everyone loves the cranberry walnuts. I'm afraid that they'd be disappointed if I said no more cranberry walnut.
Yeah, well, I mean, you never know. Maybe you could introduce something that, that other people will enjoy, and then you open it up more,
To make sourdough bread, you need steam in your oven for the process. And if you have a commercial oven, they actually make ovens for bread baking that inject steam into it.
Okay.
So when you're baking at home, either you have to use a Dutch oven to hold the heat in and hold the moisture in, or you have to incorporate steam into the oven, which I do by now I have a cast iron skillet filled with what are called lava rocks. Okay. And then I pour hot water on the lava rocks and it creates the steam. So figuring out how to go from one loaf at a time to now I can do 4 loaves at a time, that was a learning curve. And getting the same quality, because the cast iron creates this nice uniform, if anyone's ever made a stew, that's why they use cast iron, because it holds the heat and it's very uniform heat. And if you don't have like a really fancy oven, things fluctuate a bit. So it's been a learning curve getting back to that. It was a learning curve just making the bread in the beginning. My first breads were terrible, absolutely terrible. And through my friend in California, I would post these monstrosities, and he would give me tips, and some other people would give me tips, and slowly but surely, I was making a loaf that I was proud of.
That's interesting. I gotta tell you, Arnie, it's amazing to me how one man is able to influence the trading, bartering, this craze for bread. Me personally, I go to the store, I pick up some bread, and I call it a day. I mean, I can't wait to try some of your bread. And I'm sure everybody who's watching this, if they have not had your bread already, I'm sure that they can't wait either. So how do they find you? How do they order some bread if they wanted to?
On Facebook, and you can just do Arnie Adler. I actually have Facebook, Bread Baker of Riverdale Facebook page. I just started that one, and I'm on Instagram, is the Bread Baker, and you can connect with me through any of those, and I'll send you an info sheet listing all the breads, because somewhere along the way, people started coming to me and saying, I heard your bread's really good, but I'm not skilled. I don't cook. I don't make art. How do I get a bread? And I was going, I'll sell it to you. And now that's
as a last resort.
Well, it was never my intention to make this into a business. It was just, let's see what happens and have fun. I mean, the popularity and the publicity, there's never been a plan here. For 30 years I was a photographer. I would market my business. It wasn't my plan to market this. Everything just started falling into place. And so now it's like 50-50 between purchases and people swapping with me. And so, they can purchase it if they want to, or I still love swapping.
Offer a barter. offer a barter. Well, listen, Arnie, again, I really appreciate your time, and hopefully whoever's watching this video, follow Arnie Adler, the bread baker of Riverdale, on Instagram, on Facebook, and try some of the guy's bread, man. I can't wait to try it myself.
Thank you.
So thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
All right. Take care, everybody.